Welcome back. We are now joined by Engineer Mohammed Baraka, Chairman of the Egyptian-Indonesian Business Council, and of course, Ambassador Abdurrahman Fakhr, Indonesian Ambassador to Egypt. Thank you for joining us in this part of our discussion.
Thank you.
First of all, Engineer Mr. Mohammed Baraka, you are the Chairman of the Egyptian-Indonesian Business Council. Can you please shed a light on the Council's activities here in Egypt and in Indonesia?
We established Egyptian-Indonesian Business Council in 2005. What we are doing, we explain for the business people in Indonesia and Egypt what is the production in Egypt and Indonesia, and we try to increase the export from Egypt to Indonesia and from Indonesia to Egypt. And we explain for the Egyptian how to deal with the company in Indonesia or with company in Egypt. And we try to help them to find what is the need from production in Indonesia or in Egypt. And we do our business that we explain for the business. Don't try to follow other way, not through the government, not through the Egyptian Council or not through the embassy. Because sometimes you find some businessman in Indonesia or in Egypt not correct. You can't transfer the money and you cannot find the goods. The best way that you follow the rules. If you follow the rules, ask about this company through the Egyptian embassy in Indonesia or through Indonesian embassy in Egypt, is better for you. We explain to business people how to deal and what is the country need, what is Indonesia need, what is in Egypt we need, to explain for business how to export and how to deal.
Engineer Mohammed Baraka, you were mentioning a considerable increase in the volume of trade between Egypt and Indonesia over the past years, despite the current slowdown due to the financial crisis. Which areas interest Indonesian businessmen or investors most when they think about doing business here in Egypt and vice versa?
Many Indonesians would like to invest in Egypt. We already bring some people to invest here. First one come to invest in glassware. He faced a problem with our government because we have two channels to take approval to start this business. First we go to GAFI and go to take the land, and it has to be one channel to solve the problem for investors.
To facilitate the process.
Facilities.
Yeah.
We don't like to make complicated for the business people to come to invest here, because every investor come to invest here, he has to follow the rules. It's no problem for rules, but we need the rules in one channel. I don't like to go to investing ministry and go to industry and ministry to make project. One channel, and they solve between each other, and cannot give approval for something and they change it after the investing start. They make it here, and this is not correct for our investing. To explain for the people how to invest in Egypt is very difficult, because we have many raw materials here. We don't use it, we export it. Our big volume for export to Indonesia is rock phosphate. They use it for chemical for land. This is our main export to Indonesia. Why we don't make the project here and we export not raw material, we export
the product.
Added value.
I believe if they give some facility to the government, they will have many investors, because Egypt is very, very good land for raw material for many projects. I hope I can bring more people to invest here, and this year we will start another project in Egypt, and I hope the government will help with the facilities like other people.
Mr. Baraka, you spoke of the obstacles that Indonesian businessmen and Egyptian businessmen find here in Egypt and in Indonesia. Are there any future plans that the Council has in mind for maybe establishing better relations between the businessmen and the government, and maybe encourage the investment in the private sector?
Actually, all is private sector. All the investment coming from Indonesia is private sector, not government sector.
Okay.
But we bring business people to invest here in Egypt. And also, there is some people, Egyptian, invest in Indonesia in many projects. for garment, for furniture, for many things. Many Egyptians invest in Indonesia also. And we encourage them to invest also, not only invest in Egypt. But for Egyptian land, we have raw material, very cheap material to invest. If the government gives some facilities for the investors in Indonesia, it will be very good for the Indonesian people to come here. And we already explained about the rules in Egypt, about what we have, Egyptian government have. We have COMESA with Africa, we have Union European, Arab, can export for all these countries free customs duty, and this is help export to these countries. And when we explain for the people to come to invest in Egypt, we explain to them to start for export, not only for local market. Like any project start in Egypt, they start to plan to sell in the local market. And they go to the government, we have a problem. Please make me anti-dumping for this project, for this commodity, because we have this product come to us and we cannot sell. If we start producing good quality, good price, and we have labor very cheap, our labor cheaper than Indonesia. Don't believe that the labor here is higher than Indonesia. Our labor in Egypt cheaper than Indonesia. Any workers cheaper than Indonesia. Any engineer work in this factory, we already start to use some people in this factory. The engineering here salary is little low than Indonesian salary, and the life same, not so big difference. The life same, the food is same, price is not so high, level is the same. That means we have good facility for any investors to come invest in Egypt.